Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at weather for the 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 10th of October. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that actually with the excellent GFS and ECM Ensembles. They run throughout a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video. For the next 4 weeks, it gets us more or less to the end of October. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment, just to say that the first video release today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released a weekend forecast and the EC42 dare for the UK and Ireland. Check out all of those videos if you'd like to do that. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff on today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. 50 subscribers, 50, going to get us to 17k. We are so close now to 17,000 subscribers. Please give us a sub, tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Wow. Okay, here we go, then. We're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. 2 tropical storms, of course. We've got Rena and Philip. So Rena currently giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour with a minimum surface pressure of 999 millibars. Rena is moving west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. Click on Rena. Going here, we can see Rena will be going post-tropical at the beginning of next week. So current position is there. Tropical storm Rena will move in that direction, and by Monday should be a post-tropical depression. Now, what about Philip? So Philip, or Philip, I don't know how you pronounce that really. It's Philippe, it's now French. That's got to be the French pronunciation of Philip. So that'd be Philippe, wouldn't it? Let's call it Phil. Tropical storm Phil. It's giving maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. Again, with a minimum surface pressure of 999 millibars. How strange. And Phil is moving south-southwestwards at 5 miles per hour. Clicking on Phil. Now, this is going to become a hurricane if the forecast is correct. So, I suppose the reason that Rena is going to be dying a death by Monday is that Phil is going to take all of the, all of the energy in the atmosphere probably from Rena. So, Phil's going to suck the life out of her, I think. So we begin here with a tropical storm. By Monday, gone up to hurricane status, and still Hurricane Philip by the time we get through to Thursday, if the forecast is correct, and just to the east-southeast of Bermuda. So, better see how strong this is predicted to get. So, go to discussion. Come down to here. So, it's going to be a Category 1. It's very borderline, this. Whether it does actually make it as a hurricane. So it's starting off with maximum sustained at about 50 miles per hour, as I said. By sort of early next week, we're up to maximum sustained of 75 miles per hour. That is just making it Category 1 hurricane status. So it is a little bit borderline, it's a bit touch and go. In the end, it might not make it to a hurricane. At the moment, they're predicting it just gets to the required wind gust, max sustained wind gust, 75 miles per hour to make it as a Category 1 hurricane. But, it's right on the borderline. That, of course, it could power up even more of that. Even more than that, I should say. So, the current position is predicted to be there by Thursday. There's still a lot of warm water in all of this area, really. So, as it meanders about, it could power up further. Have to wait and see. But that's how it's looking at the moment in the tropical Atlantic. And, of course, we will keep you updated. So the subject still not updated. It's very, very long. Got to the end of September and we haven't had an update hardly several days. So we're still sitting officially at 17.3. I don't know if that is still in the 17s. We've dropped down into the upper 16s, 3.8 degrees above average. That's visual to 26th of September. I'm not sure why, it's very annoying. I'm not sure why we got to the closing days of September, just as we're coming right to the busiest end of this, what could be hottest September since record began in 1659. They're not updating it. How annoying is that? Thank you, Hadley, for not giving us an update. But I suppose it'll make it exciting when we do finally get the verdict, you know, which hopefully will be tomorrow, but who knows, given this hasn't updated since the 26th. Yeah, so as soon as we know what's going on, as soon as we know what's going on, we'll bring you an update, you know, about that, obviously, if this does in fact turn out to be the hottest September on CET record. Remember, we're going to hold at 17.0 or more. 17.0 is where we've got to be to have the warmest September on record. The previous warmest was 16.9, set in 2006. So to beat 2006, you know, we've got to hold at 17.0. I think we're going to hold at 17. I think we may even go in at 17.1. But I would have liked to have had an update, you know, to be more confident about that. But I think 17.1 is about where we'll end up. But we shall see. We shall see. And by the way, if we do win at 17.1, we will beat June as well. And that'll be the first time that September has ever beaten all of the 3 official summer months, June, July, and August. And June at 17 was the first time we've been in 17s, you know, since like 1976. The first time June was the hottest month in 1970. So it already been very, very strange summer. But we're rounding it off in an even stranger note, potentially. But again, no update since 26th of September from Hadley, so we don't really know where we are. And as soon as we get the final finished number, hopefully tomorrow, we'll bring you that. And that, of course, will be in tomorrow's live stream where we do the 10 to 14 day before we head off, have a look at the long range. Right, so that's that done. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. The next couple of weeks, red line is the first year of the air temperature average for Exeter. Exeter today, home of the UKMO. So we're beginning above average, of course, at the moment. Pretty warm air mass sits across the country, albeit there is rain involved with that. We'll turn a bit cooler through the middle part of next week, then lifting the temperature up again as we get into the end of next week. Now, look at all this scatter as we get to the end of next week. We've got these ensemble members up here that are incredibly hot. Absolutely unbelievably hot. They're between like 15 and 20 degrees, 850 HPA. Crazy. Absolutely. I mean, that is hot in July and August. But in October, that is just, that's just ridiculous. You know, that's absolutely insane. Conversely, though, we have got these cooler ensemble members down here, including the GFS operational run, which is this big green line. It does lift up a little bit, briefly, at the end of the coming week, but very quickly it's back down again, and, you know, it is at the coolest end of the range. So what's going on there? We could potentially be looking at a record-breaking October heatwave by the weekend, you know, the weekend of the 7th and the 8th of October, or we could be looking at cool, wet and windy weather. And we're going to go through the chart data in a moment, but all I would say is that it is up for grabs at the moment where we're going by the end of next week. And we discussed that in Weekend Forecast and pretty much left Friday next weekend alone. Beyond that, we have got a cooling trend, so as we go through the second week of October, looks like things will be cooling down. However much of a warm-up we get there, at the end of next week, it does look as though the second week of October is cooler and potentially more unsettled. Precipitation-wise, lots of dry weather to come over next week. Not completely dry, but probably dry weather for the southeast anyway, or for the south. But turning more unsettled by the end of the first week of October and into the second week of the month. It does look a little bit more unsettled there. Temperature anomalies from the 30th of September to 8th of October going to be above average. We're not alone. Most parts of Europe coming out pretty warm as well. Hold on. There we go. So, sorry, everybody. Precipitation anomalies from the 30th of September to 8th of October. Just a little bit west average in the far west, northwest driving average in the south, and also across eastern parts of Scotland. Latest Windflow Map from Earth, NOSchool.net shows that we've got low pressure. Low pressure is in the Atlantic. There's another trough pushing through here. But we are bringing up wind from like a southerly direction, so yes, the air mass is warm, albeit it is involving rain to the west. Right, now, let's start going through the chart data then. So, this is how the latest UKMO Euro run is looking for midnight on Tuesday. By then, so, we talk about this weekend broadcast, but really, today, tomorrow, and Monday, we're going to have a trailing weather front. It's going to be a real nuisance. We're going to have a front that's sort of stuck through the central swathe of the country, and along that front there will be pulses of rain coming as the front sort of waves a little bit like that. So along these waves we will get pulses of rain, if you see what I mean. So up to the end of Monday we're stuck with that. By Tuesday though, we're going to push that through and go into a flat sort of westerly. So by middle of the week, everything is simplifying. We've got high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, and we bring in the wind from off the Atlantic in a westerly type direction. That brings showers to the north, but most dry conditions into the south. Now, into the second half of next week, this is when it starts getting complicated. High pressure bridges up from the south with some very warm, hot air associated with that. Certainly hot for October. But we have got all this low pressure, all these areas of low pressure in the Atlantic as well. So, the real question at the end of next week and into next weekend is how strong is this ridge that's building up from the south versus below in the Atlantic. Below wants to bring us autumn, the ridge wants to keep summer going with those southerly winds. The UK Met is inconclusive. That's to midnight on Saturday. It looks as though by then, despite having very warm upper air temperatures drifting northwards, to me, that looks like it's about to break down the ridge with these lows. I think these lows are about to come in with the UK Met. So I think the UK Met probably is a little bit more unsettled for next weekend. This is how Icon is looking. Again, we're pushing those that train front and the waves along it away on Tuesday, going to a flat westerly flow. By mid of next week, sunshine showers in north, driving south. Now, as we get to the end of next week, into next weekend, look how this ridge just builds up from the south. Look at those upper air temperatures by midday next Saturday. Plus 15 Celsius ice balance made it all the way up to East Scotland. That is for the 7th of October, everyone. And I think the ridge is holding its ground more strongly here with the with Icon as well. So we have got lows in the Atlantic. But I reckon this ridge is stronger, so I think that will bring us a very warm weekend next weekend with that area of high pressure. Note, is also the remains, I think probably that will be Hurricane Philippe into the North Atlantic as well there on the 7th of October. So what effect that has remains to be seen. Right, that's that one done. Now, check out the GFS midnight run. So, again, we're getting rid of those weather fronts on Tuesday. They're pushing away, and we're going into that westerly showery flow through Wednesday. Then the high pressure has a go at ridging up from the south, Thursday to Friday. But really, you know, it's nowhere near as strong with that ridge as like Icon. We've just seen low pressure deepening in the Atlantic. And the upper air temperatures do warm up. They are quite warm, but nothing excessive. And then very quickly, by the time you get through to midnight Saturday, got a weather front coming across the country, bringing heavy rain with it, and introducing, a much cooler Atlantic flow. Look at the upper air temperatures. That's midnight Saturday with the GFS. Compare that to the upper air temperatures with Icon for midnight Saturday, which will be just there. Compare the two. I mean, chalk and cheese, really, isn't it? Between Icon and the UK Met. So very, very, very uncertain what's going on here. But the GFS, I should say, chalk and cheese between Icon and GFS. But GFS does turn very autumnal, actually, by next weekend. Deep low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing spells of rain. And much cooler air as well. Look at the upper air temperatures, a real dip in those. Look at the thickness signs. Don't look at these very often. But this green line here, which is the 546 line, that's basically autumn. If you're within that line, then you've basically got autumnal weather at this time of year. This is the summer line, just here, this lemon coloured line here, 564. That's the summer line, so that will, that will be warm air or hot air in the summer. And of course, winter is the 528 line. That's this blue line up here. That's lurking. It's a long way north, but by December, that might be pushing southwards. And you can actually see a little bit of 510 here. The 510 thickness line is centred over the middle of Greenland at the moment. That also will expand out along with the polar vortex. When you get 510 line, we don't get 510. 850 HPA temperatures very often, but when you get the 510 line, then that's brutal cold. That's like December to remember levels of cold. That is beast from the east levels of cold. If you get the 510 thickness line moving in, there is also another line which is the 492. And that will be appearing later on in the year. We don't see that at the moment, but the 492 is one that we don't get in this country. Right, so that explains that. So basically, we're within very autumnal air there by next weekend, in complete contrast to all of the other model output that we've seen so far. So going on to day 10, looking very cool, northerly winds setting. We've got showers, longer spells, rain, etc., 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 all looking very chilly and autumnal. Into the extended range of ridge trying to build through the country. That is within quite cool air, though, so it does perhaps turn a little bit drier in some places as we go towards the middle part of October. But generally looking very autumnal, that. I think from next weekend, the GFS midnight run is properly autumnal then all the way to the middle of the month. This is how the 6 days looking. This is the very latest GFS run. Again, on Tuesday, we're introducing that westerly flow, getting rid of the trailing weather fronts into Thursday and Friday. Again, we're trying to ridge up some high pressure, but much weaker, much further south and east with the ridge compared to the lows in the Atlantic that really are driving the weather by the end of the week. So as early as Saturday, low pressure pushing through, certainly no heat wave there, and just wet and windy really into next weekend. We do just about get the plus 15 Celsius iceberg to the southeast of England, but it's basically still over France. And in any case, it's all being swept away very quickly by its deep lows in the Atlantic. So a rather wet and windy and much cooler weekend next weekend. Up to day 10, again, looking rather cool, showery, a ridge trying to build in from off the Atlantic. Not much comes from that. High pressure takes over really as we go towards the middle part of October. But the high pressure towards Scandinavia, we're bringing in the wind from the east. Much more of an autumnal feel. No particularly warm weather coming in with that. Right, if you're enjoying this video and our content on the channel at the moment, can I just point you towards our GavsWeatherVids merch store. So we have got pillows, we've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, we've got hats, we've got stickers, we've got socks, we've got we have also got the magic water bottle in various designs and logos, etc, etc, etc. So thank you so much everybody for buying merch so far. If you'd like to treat yourself to a little bit of GavsWeatherVids merch, come to our store and quote CMD0721. That will get you 15% off your order at checkout. Thank you so much everybody doing that. The merch is helping us pay for the channel and helping me to be here doing this for all of you. You can also become a channel member for GavsWeatherVids for £4.99 a month. You can become a channel member and get exclusive perks and content. So you'll get loyalty badges, you'll get also a once a month channel member live stream, and you will get some exclusive content as well. So that's how you become a channel member. Click the join button for that. You can give a super thanks on this and all of our videos by clicking the thanks button. That will sometimes be along this bar underneath the video, sometimes it will be behind the three little dots there. But click the super thanks button and it will highlight your comment and also give a donation to GavsWeatherVids. And of course there is also the GavsWeatherVids PayPal page, so if you would like to give a donation of whatever amount you want and get a shout out in videos, then check out the GavsWeatherVids PayPal page, click into your PayPal account and send a donation to GavsWeatherVids, and you'll get a shout out in videos if you want one. And all of this is helping, as I say, to pay for GavsWeatherVids. It's helping me to have the channel and be able to bring you all of this content that you are hopefully enjoying. I think most people enjoy the content. One or two people don't. You know, you can't please everybody. Not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes Gav, to say the least. But most people, I think, enjoy the content that we're doing. So I thank you so very much, everybody, for all of the support. And yes, that's how you help to pay for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much. Right, persevering and moving on. A GM once again showing on Tuesday that we're pushing that trough out of way and going into a flat westerly flow. Wednesday through to Thursday, so that's build up high pressure from the south. We turn the wind into a southerly at the end of the week. Have got low pressure in the Atlantic. What happens after that? Well, by Saturday we are drawing up this very warm southerly flow. So we've got plus 15 cells iceberg into the south. Sunday, we still keep that southerly wind going. So certainly it's delaying bringing that low pressure in compared to the GFS, but GM does eventually pull that low pressure in, but not before it pushes up some very, very warm. I mean, again, this is like the 7th to the 8th of October. You've got the plus 15 cells iceberg up to the far north of Scotland. I reckon that could get the temperature into the mid-20s Celsius very easily on Saturday next week if it came up, particularly if we have plenty of sunshine. You know, it's quite remarkable. Possibly even upper 20 Celsius could be possible. It does eventually introduce the Atlantic and this low breaks through. So Sunday has been breakdown of that mini heat wave. And the upper air temperature looking much cooler by the time we get through to day 10, and also unsettled as well as a GM. And then the ECM at WF looks like this. Once again, we've got the trailing weather getting out of the way Monday through Tuesday, into showery conditions through Wednesday, and then through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, high pressure takes over to our south. We start to draw up those very warm southerly winds. Look at the upper air temperatures with the ECM midnight Saturday. They're looking hot for the time of the year. That Sunday, again, low pressure. It's there in the Atlantic, but it's much weaker compared particularly to the GFS. Excuse once again, everybody, particularly to the GFS. So it's the high pressure that's holding its ground, keeping those winds in from the south. We'll look at those upper air temperatures midnight on Sunday. Again, I reckon if we was to get some sunshine coming through, we could get the temperature into mid to upper 20s Celsius there through next weekend. And that suddenly even lasts to Monday. So out of all of model output, it is the ECM that is bringing us really excessive hot weather for the time of the year next weekend. That is midnight on Monday. Again, we're still in that southerly flow. No sign of the Atlantic breaking through. How can it be so different from the ECM to the GFS? So hot as we go through next weekend. Notice though, cold air is actually plunging into northern and eastern Europe. Look at the -5 Celsius isotherm here into northern Scandinavia and through the Baltic Sea states and down to Ukraine and the north of the Black Sea as well, and into western Russia. That will bring some potentially the first snowfalls, you know, into western parts of Russia and the far north and northeast of Europe. So what a contrast from east to west there across Europe as head up towards day 10. By day 10, just signs that high pressure might be starting to head up towards green, but even there, we're still really, really warm for the time of year in those upper air, with those upper air temperatures. So an absolutely remarkable, phenomenal, and probably record-breakingly hot spell of weather there for October from the ECM. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Plenty of rain into central northwestern regions today. I'm going to get that trailing weather front with these pulses of rain pushing through quite annoyingly over the next 2 or 3 days. By the time we get through to sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, then we're going into that westerly flow, and that brings the west weather to the north. Driest weather will be down in the south. Into next weekend, the high pressure takes over, starts to drop those southerly winds, and you see it just looks very dry really next weekend, and even up to the 10th of October. Remember, the GFS, it's completely different to that, and is bringing autumn. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensemble Day 4 data. In fact, I'll tell you what, why don't we go back a couple of days before then? So the uncertainty really, I think, is around, where are we? Around 168 hours. So in around a week's time. Okay, so these are what's on the table within the ECM ensembles for next Saturday. Don't do this very often, but for next Saturday, 7th of October, 13 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure over country and out to the west, low pressure to the northeast there. That's trying to bring cooler air down from the north. But it's probably actually quite warm and dry. We've got 12 with high pressure over the country and to the south, low pressure out to the west. That should be drawing up wind from a southerly direction. We've got 11 with high pressure over the country and away to the northwest as well, drawing up the wind from the south. That includes the control and the operational run. We've got 9 with high pressure to our south, low pressure away to the northwest. Again, that should be bringing up wind from a southerly direction. I've got 6 with high pressure again to the south, low pressure. So most of the options look like they're going to be drawing up very warm air from the south there to me. We can actually show the ECM ensembles, by the way. We don't do that very often. But where are they? Where are they? Up here, ECM do that. Right, okay. So yeah, pretty good agreement actually within the ECM ensembles to really lift those temperatures up at the end of next week and into next weekend. There is a cool down within the ECM ensembles, and the operation run probably delays that cool down a little bit. But certainly better confidence, I think, with the ECM ensembles compared to the GFS ensembles for a significant warm-up next week. Nowhere near as much scatter as we see there with the GFS ensemble, so that's quite interesting. Right, back to there. So these are what's on the table for day 10, which will get us to the 10th of October. 28 members of the ECM ensemble taking high pressure way to the northwest, low high pressure also to south, low pressure down here. They're going to try and bring cooler air in from the north, and they've got 23, including the control and the operation run, with high pressure still in the ascendancy, really dominating, I should say, across North and West Europe. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 15th of October. 13 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure ridging through the country, bring lots of dry weather with that. We've got 11 with high pressure around between Scandinavia and Iceland, low pressure to our south. That probably brings some quite wet weather into the south, cooler too. 10 with low pressure to our northeast, high pressure to our west-northwest. That bringing down cooler air from the northwest. We've got 9 with low pressure sitting over and slightly to the south of the country. Again, mid-Atlantic ridge, that's cooler and more unsettled. And 8 with high pressure between Scotland and Iceland. So that's still relatively dry, but is cooler winds coming in from the northeast. It does look as though there's a bit of a cool down there by mid-October, but before then, some very, very warm weather, not hot weather, to get out of the way if the ECM is right. Remember, so much different with the GFS in particular compared to the ECM today. Right, what a video this has been. CFS 5 leaving to 500 millibar. High time is broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 30th of September, 6th of October. This next week, we see high pressure building up from the south, bringing lots of dry and potentially very warm weather with it. Week 2, all change. It's the 7th to the 13th of October. High pressure pulls out into the Atlantic. Trough of low pressure digs in to the north and the west of Europe. That's much more unsettled and cooler as well. Week 3 is going to be the 14th to 20th of October. Low pressure around Greenland, Iceland. High pressure is to the south. Winds are coming in from a flat westerly direction. Showery in the north, mostly dry in the south. Certainly not cooler. And then week 4 is the 23rd, 27th of October. High pressure again is to the south of the country. That's a little bit complicated, but probably shutting down a bit towards the end of October. Long way off though, that. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Drop a comment. Let's know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. 50 subscribers now is all we need to get 17k. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And check out our merch store and channel membership and, you know, super thanks, super chats on live streams and on our PayPal page as well. And please give us a donation to help fund the channel and bring you all of this content. And what a video this has been, 30 minutes. Goodness gracious me, that is long for a 10 to 14 dare. It's been a long time since I've done a half an hour 10 to 14 dare. But, you know, we went in depth. This was a deep dive, I think. It wasn't just a 10 dare, this was a deep dive, I think. So, if you enjoyed the video, then please can you smash that like button. And as I say, check out all of the various options for supporting our channel to bring you this exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else on YouTube. Thank you so much. Right, just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. And talking of exclusive epic content, got 6 AM forecast. But after that, at 10 AM, there's going to be the 5th Winter 2023-24 update. And for the first time this season, at the beginning of that, the first thing you see after my intro, you will see the swingometer. So we've done 4 winter updates so far, and the 5th one, I'll say tomorrow. At the beginning of that, you'll see where things are standing in terms of those winter updates with the GavsWeatherVids Winter 2023-24 swingometer, which will be revealed for the first time this season tomorrow. That'll be live streaming at 6 PM, and of course that one is going to be combining like 10 to 14 day chat about winter update with long range as well. Hopefully we'll have updates from CANTIPS and the CFS, so we will bring you that data tomorrow in our live stream at 6 PM. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon, and for this video, or evening when you're watching it, for this video though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.